First time in a long time, but back like I never left. Taking each day as it comes, you know me, I don't read ahead. Watch me burn down everything, BDE on the TV set. When I'm in control on the road, you can never really know what's up next.
Hello.
Hello, hello, hello.
Braden Herrington here with Davie Portman for upNXT, postwrestling.com, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, whatever podcast app you use, and of course,
Twitch.tv/upNXT podcast. Hello, Twitch Room.
Hello, Twitch Room. Yes, Braden and Davie, the BDE, we are your NXT friends.
Friends.
And we'll always be your NXT friends. And tonight is the biggest night in NXT history.
The biggest one ever, yes. NXT Black and Gold against NXT 2.0.
Yeah.
And, bit of a mixed bag here.
It's the biggest, it's all the stakes. Because we could, if NXT Black and Gold win, it goes back, right? To where it used to.
I guess, yeah.
Right.
It's like the Alliance versus WWF.
Right. It's just like that. Well, they didn't win, so it's not going back to that. Yeah. This is the first ever takeover, non-takeover since like before they even did takeovers. This is just called NXT WarGames.
Yeah. What was the last one we had? 36. Takeover 36, yeah. Was that it?
I guess they got tired of naming it, which they started to get lazy once they started doing that.
Well, they didn't go to any towns, so they couldn't really call it NXT Florida every week, could they?
Right, yeah, that's true. Well, it's NXT WarGames, and we're going to talk all about it. Yes, we do this every Tuesday. We record upNXT. We watch NXT on Tuesday nights, and then we go live on Twitch at 10:15 p.m. Eastern Time, and we record upNXT where you can listen to the podcast. So anyone in the Twitch room who's like, yo, I'm tired, I'm going to sleep, well, the podcast, of course, is where you find your podcast.
Yeah, well, thank you for joining us earlier. And see ya, if you are one of those people, because we did do our live watch-along.
We did.
The show.
We were hanging out watching WarGames on the Twitch as well, so that was a lot of fun as well. We love new listeners, old listeners. They were all coming together to watch some NXT. It felt like old times again.
Yeah, we had a busy room tonight. It was good. A lot of people returning after a bit of a hiatus.
Yeah, and I mean, there's lots of like news going around what this show is. A lot of people, contracts and wrestlers leaving and all that stuff definitely will play into a lot of the stuff into the show and possibly going forward, maybe even on Tuesday night. For any updates of all the stuff at upNXT Podcast on Twitter, go give us a follow, and all the likes and RTs are appreciated because we'll be following all the stuff. If your favorite NXT wrestlers just up and leave us and go on to other places, possibly. I don't know, I'm in a good mood. I want a PS5 because I follow Bray Wyatt on Twitter.
Wyndham Rotunda gave you a PS5, did he?
Wyndham, I want a PS5. He tweeted out, hey, who wants one? I was like, sure. So it's coming in the mail, hopefully. I just had to give my credit card information and SIN number, but I think I'm fine.
Yeah, I love how people are like, oh, Bray Wyatt's been hacked. Maybe he wasn't. Maybe it's just like, Undertaker retired and then started hanging out with Tigers and just doing everything.
Kevin Hart?
Yeah, exactly. So maybe Limp Bizkit, wasn't he as well? Was he with them? No, Pitbull, wasn't it? It was Pitbull he was with.
Limp Bizkit would make more sense.
Limp Bizkit would make more sense. But yeah, I guess he's just
so Wyndham was hacked.
Now. Wyndham just,
so you're saying I didn't win a PS5?
Well, he hasn't shown up on any wrestling show, so I think he's just doing some shady shit on the side. Our Wyndham.
I don't know. I thought he was in the WarGames match later on tonight, but we'll talk about that because someone looked like they dressed like him. I mean, the big story tonight going in, though, is Johnny Gargano. There's talk that tonight was his final hurrah, and he was posting pictures. There was Ciampa posting pictures. There was like all this stuff.
Yeah, Ciampa posted like, if this is the last time I'm sharing the ring with you, it's been an honor, something like that, with all pictures from their rivalry and their time as DIY. Yeah,
we also had a Glorious Bomb. Remember those? Yeah, go look at their socials if you haven't seen it. It's when they used to have Bobby Roode in NXT, and they would play his music and then just show up. So they have one with Pete and LA Knight for their match tonight, which definitely got a pop from me. That's how I knew. I'm like, this guy's gone. He's leaving.
Yeah, and it felt definitely with his entrance tonight, it felt like that was... You didn't have the post-match, thank you, Johnny, but I guess it wouldn't have served the story particularly tonight, but definitely seemed to say their goodbye at the beginning of the match. Whether it's... I mean, as of now, it sounds like he's not signed. He's not re-signed, but there are still a few days where he could do. But I think either way, this is it for him on NXT.
Yeah, just on Twitter, some people are saying that Johnny may have cut a promo or something because they said Tuesday night, Johnny will tell all.
Okay.
Don't know what that means, but maybe that's him being like, I'm going to Monday Night Raw.
Yeah, I feel his time in NXT is done.
Yeah.
Either way, I think he's either main roster bound or leaving. But I think possibly if he's talking on Tuesday, might indicate that he's not leaving the company, perhaps.
Yeah, I would like to see him kind of wrestle other people, but I think most definitely NXT time is done for him. But he also posted photos that Candice LeRae, it's the first time she's not going to be in a War Games match since she's been in all the women's.
Yeah.
So in honor, he is going to be wearing his Candice LeRae socks for his match tonight. So
were they under the boots?
yeah,
I guess.
So that's just true love right there.
He had a lot going on with his gear tonight.
He did,
including Candice socks.
Yeah, we'll get to it down the line. But yeah, also we lost Scotty Too Hottie as a trainer here.
I know.
2.0, but we also are losing Beth Phoenix.
Yeah.
Aunt Bethany.
She's leaving.
She's leaving NXT. She's got to get ready for that match.
She's just leaving her kid Vic with Dad now.
I'm moving on.
That's what now they're doing like casual Sundays and casual Tuesdays at NXT 2.0.
Yeah.
It definitely looked like Mum and Dad, Beth and Wade, made an effort tonight, and their kid Vic tried to
red t-shirt,
his cool new jacket and
from Target. Yeah,
very flashy.
Well, she's leaving them.
She's leaving, yeah.
She's got to get ready for her WrestleMania Tag Team Mixed Match Challenge.
Who
Miz and Maurice.
Her and Edge against Miz and Maurice?
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Sure.
Yeah.
So,
what do you see happening with Beth saying she's not leaving the company, but just wants to spend more time with her family? And she's been with NXT for a good few years now. She did that Mae Young Classic as well. And I think she's someone who really grew into the role. Do you see them sticking with just Wade and Vic moving forwards? Who do you see like the third person being?
True. You could just leave it with Vic and Wade. I don't know why sometimes there's three people, but it can get a little crazy. But you know what? We are always honest on doing these shows. We've done upNXT for a while. When Beth first came in, there was some rough patches and stuff, and we like to tease her, and especially the most difficult part of the ring,
the
hardest part of the ring, yeah. But she definitely stepped up. She's gotten really good, and I think it's also depending who your dance partner is, who you're doing. So to bounce off a Beth with Wade, where he always used the tends to lean heelish.
Yeah, I think they work well together.
Yeah,
and I think the Dexter Loomis, Indy Hartwell stuff. I think she was actually pretty key in getting that story over as well with her commentary for that and her enthusiasm for the couple. But yeah, I'd be interested to see if they have someone replace her, because NXT is kind of developmental, and we've seen that with commentary as much as we've seen it with the wrestlers, that they might want to kind of groom someone in that role.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, who would you want to see as these commentators? Let us know. I'm sure maybe they will put someone in that position to be with Vic and Wade. But I guess going forward, we'll be seeing Tuesday night what the change is. If it's just those two for now. But pouring out for Beth. Not leaving WWE, but
leaving us.
Gonna wrestle. I think she's gonna wrestle again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can see her wanting to team with Edge now that Edge is back, and yeah, the fact that he's starting a feud with Miz. That does make sense down the line.
Yeah.
Maybe not Mania, but Rumble. If you do it in January, but
right. Probably Mania.
You think Edge and Miz are going to feud for 4 months?
It's WWE, man.
That sounds awful.
That's how long Survivor Series felt when we watched it the other week.
Yeah.
I don't like how Survivor Series. We're in Canada. We have the network, and we use that service. And there's so many random vignettes that they play, and it turns out it's because Peacock has ads.
Yeah, it sucks.
So it sucks. We could have been out of here by now.
Peacock's been around for a while now, and it's just been since Survivor Series where I've really noticed they must have upped the advertisements on it, because it was so much in Survivor Series. That show felt so long. And TakeOver, where it's don't call it a takeover, but these 5-match NXT cards, they've always been really snappy. You kind of have one match and it pretty much goes right into the next one, or you have a brief who's in the front row of NXT or a brief promo backstage. But the show takeovers have always felt really swift, And definitely these fucking Peacock ads and
it's like,
just repeating vignettes we've seen really like just drag the pace of the show down a lot.
It makes me just go, I don't know if I want to watch the rest of this. Like, just so much of it. It's annoying.
Yeah, it is.
It's more annoying than TV. This felt, by the way, right up the top, this could have been a TV special. This whole thing felt like a TV special, this pay-per-view. It's not a takeover. It had spots and matches where guys were like, it felt like, okay, NXT rolls on, but they didn't say it. It felt like it could have just been a 2-hour with ads or limited, whatever. It felt like that. And they did promote that to go head-to-head with Wrestle Kingdom. New Year's Evil will be coming back.
It won't be head-to-head. Same day, but
same day.
A lot of hours back.
Tuesday, January the 4th, New Year's Evil. And we presume that's going to be Ciampa versus...
Ciampa and Breaker, I'd imagine, yeah.
Maybe, possibly. Well, let's get into some War Games. It's not quite War Games this year because Regal never said it.
He didn't say it last year.
He didn't say it last year?
No.
What the fuck?
I remember there was Regal Gate last year as well.
Did he
I think he did something on Twitter, but he didn't announce it.
Like a TikTok or something? Yeah. Well, War Games has come. It's time for war. And we start off with a War Games matchup. It is the Women's War Games match. It is Toxic Attraction, meaning Mandy Rose, Gigi Dolin, and Jacey Jayne, and Dakota Kai versus Raquel Gonzalez, Cora Jade, Io Shirai, and Kaylee Ray. Yeah, Kaylee Ray with her Loch Ness-inspired gear.
St. Andrew's Day gear, yeah.
Yeah, she clearly loves... she knew St. Andrew's Day recently. We're celebrating. Maybe she'll be watching Castle
We've
Christmas.
still not recovered from St. Andrew's Day.
We went hard on St. Andrew's Day. Yeah, Kaylee Ray is going to start off the match, and she starts off with... Is it Dakota?
It's Dakota Kai, yeah.
Who we just watched them in
the ladder match.
Pretty awesome ladder match.
Yeah, we've seen them do this before, and I really think this format works in having the two, like, probably best technical wrestlers start it who've been having a feud. We saw this last year with Pete and Kyle, who really carried the beginning of that War Games match, who've been feuding, and I think they even had the ladder match for advantage last year. And then even later tonight, Carmelo and Gargano starting things off, where we didn't see the singles match, but they've had a feud for a while. I think these were the right two to kick things off, and had a really nice start to the match, actually. Yeah,
so Dakota and Kaylee Ray are starting. I should tell you that the rest of the team are in cages, like in the back of the crowd, like almost where the perches were or whatever. But it's like one cage there, shark cage there. Shout out Shark Cages. Best match ever, Shark Cage, available last July on our Patreon.
Yeah.
Shark Cage matches.
Check it out, yeah.
You never know. This could be part of it. They're in the shark cages here. And they're all just hanging out. I like the cage cam.
Where you're seeing how they're like strategizing and trying to get out of the cage.
Yeah, especially when it cuts to Toxic Attraction strategizing. I was like, oh, that's a great shot.
They were strategizing well, yeah.
Yeah, very well. On which shirts they're going to wear to go to war in. Yeah. We start off Dakota and Kaylee Ray. There's kendo sticks and using the cage a lot, like Kaylee's throwing her face first into it. Dakota sets up kendo sticks. There are two rings here, so the kendo sticks are like side by side on the ropes connecting. It's almost like Bayley in that Sasha Banks match where she just kept trying to use those damn kendo sticks.
Yeah.
This at least ended up becoming an actual spot where Kaylee slams her on them, which looked like it hurt. It was like a gourd buster. Cora Jade is the next in to come in. She's got a big skateboard now.
Yeah.
Not just this little tiny little thing.
She's going to war.
She rides on it for a total of 0.8 seconds.
For her entrance, yeah.
And then picks it up and then comes down to the ring. She comes in there, and now it's Kaylee Ray, who is the babyface, and Cora Jade, who is also the babyface, start beating down on Dakota Kai, and the crowd instantly turns on the match and boos both Cora and Kaylee Ray.
Yeah, they did this last year in the Women's War Games where the babyfaces started, and I know it's cliche to have the heels start, but it's because it works. You always need the babyface in peril, and this felt... The crowd, it checked them out. They didn't really know who to cheer for, because Dakota is an NXT favorite,
regular
heel or babyface. She's been there so long. CWC love her, and then to have these two baby faces who we're not as familiar with beating down on Dakota felt very backwards. And definitely like just made the match feel a bit weird for quite a bit.
Yeah, it was a little weird. Well, they're beating down on Dakota, who again is supposed to be the heel here, but the crowd don't like it. They continue to beat her up and just gain this advantage in. And finally, Gigi Dolin is next to come in. But again, she's meant to be the bad guy, but they're cheering because they're like, yo,
She's going to help Dakota.
Save Dakota. She's ready for war. White tank top, like, the braids? She's looking like Cadet Kelly or something. I don't know. She comes in. She starts beating them up. There's a crazy spot where Gigi's just on fire. She hits like a fast German suplex and then running pump kicks in the corner.
Yeah, both her and Dakota are doing like their haluva kick kind of things in the corner at the same time.
Look really cool. Yeah, Gigi does them really nice as well. This is when there's weapons being brought in too, because everyone seems to bring in weapons when they come into the ring. So there's chairs and trash cans. We get Kaylee Ray doing a Kaylee Ray bomb on one of them. Sorry, I think it's Gigi who's in the trash can and then does the move onto Dakota, who did not want to take this move, who just puts her hands out.
Put her hands right completely out, barely landed on the
trash can. Yeah, it didn't make any impact on the trash can, and these things are probably like tinfoil or something, but it didn't look too good. Io finally comes in. She saw people were using trash cans and we're like, hold my beer. She comes in. She goes for the trash can, but gets kicked by Dakota Kai, to finally the crowd booing Dakota here. There's then this spot where she...
Io was much needed at this point. She really injected a lot of energy into the match, and the crowd love Io as well. So definitely got back on the babyface's side with Io coming in.
There's a spot where there's a little bit in between the rings, and it looked like they were trying to go... Dakota goes for like a Rana, or maybe it was a Cora Jade.
Cora Jade hits the Rana on Dakota.
Yeah, it was a little weird.
You've not got a lot of room to do it. I think that was it. You mean
to tell me there is 2 rings and you decide I'm going to do moves in the middle of it?
But it's the metal grating. You're going to hurt them more.
She didn't hit it. She didn't hit a move at all.
No, that's not fair. She got this Rana. It didn't look the prettiest thing, but she took her down.
It was Dakota doing a forward roll after just being like, just end it, essentially. Cora Jade is 20 years old?
Yeah.
She is not legally allowed to drink in the U.S., but she's allowed to go to war, and that's what she's doing here tonight. She comes in... I think it's now Gigi who's getting beat up, and there's Jacey who's screaming. She comes out. She grabs a table and screams, just screaming, so much screaming, throws the table into the ring. Best person to do it tonight.
With the table,
yeah.
Taz would have approved of this table application.
Yeah. She brings this table in, and then Io is in, and she beats JC up, and then starts doing the Io Shirai bullet train knees, but to everyone with trash can lids. There's then a 619 to the back of JC's head, which looked pretty cool. They then set up JC on the table. This is, again, the babyface is putting JC Jayne on a table in the middle of the ring. Cora Jade climbs up to the top of the cage, jumps off, and does a swanton bomb through JC, through the table. Damn.
Looked really good.
Very impressive. But she definitely looked like she landed on her shoulder and starts to sell her shoulder, just saying she's in a lot of pain. You get the doctors looking, they're screaming at her like, hey, are you okay? Are you okay? And she's not moving, not getting up, while other things now are continuing in the match.
I thought they did this really well, actually, because later on when you realise it's a work, they brought a bit more attention to it. But at this point, it looked like they were trying to kind of shift her over to the doctors, as if something was genuinely wrong, And we're watching it going, I think she popped her shoulder out during that swanton. As it plays into the rest of the story, it was just her selling. I thought she sold really well here.
Yeah, because it looks like the doctors were legit talking to her, yo, Cora, are you okay? And they go to open the door for her, to get her out of it, or to check on her for her shoulder, because it's almost, she's acting as if it's been popped out. Io Shirai, who is on Cora's team, goes over to the door, slams it shut, and says, no, I'll do it. Grabs Cora's arm and shoulder, and then pops it back into place. Dr. Io Shirai, DMD. That's the new gimmick here in NXT.
She's the chiropractor.
Yeah, that's Dakota's move. The chiropractor. Yeah, so Io Shirai, if you're wondering what Io Shirai's big spot in this match is, popping Cora Jade's arm back into place.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Not seen it before.
No.
And I guess if you're going to war, that's what you need to do. Come on, buddy.
You need
I
a
got
medic.
you. Crack.
Medic!
Put your arm back in.
Would you be able to do that if it was Davie? You need to do it. You need to pop my shoulder back in.
My shoulders popped out.
Oh.
I've got like super hyper flexible shoulders.
Okay.
And sometimes they just completely
Weird
come
flex.
out. Yeah. No, yeah, it is a weird flex, legit. No, painful.
So she pops her arm back in. Cora still sells it like she's in pain. Like a lot of the rest of the match, she doesn't really do too much and kind of till the end. But obviously, this is like a worked spot. But it was interesting. I've not quite seen this anywhere. It's kind of silly, but at the same time, I just love Io Shirai. So
I actually really liked it. I didn't think it was silly at all. It was something different that we don't normally see in these matches. And yeah, with it being the theme is war, I like Io. Like, come on, we've got to get through this.
Right.
Your shoulder's gone, tough it up. Let's go. We'll pop it back in. Let's go.
Shoulder in. So funny. Raquel is now in. She comes down and she's got a fire extinguisher. She's spraying people with it. She's in the ring. She puts Dakota Kai in a trash can and then swings her around, hitting the other people, and then throws her. This was pretty cool too.
Yeah.
Putting her in the trash can.
Yeah, we've seen. Didn't Dakota get locked in a locker or something? Like, Raquel's like stuffed her and stuff before, hasn't she?
Yeah.
Was that Rhea, maybe?
She has been put in.
She's been put in something
a locker
before.
Or something. Yeah. So she's stuck in this trash can. It's crazy that she can fit in that thing. Raquel then gets everyone up top, of course, and sets up a Tower of Doom spot. You can't do War Games without that. There's a War Games chant, and this is when we get Mandy Rose.
Well, you got the moonsault from Io.
Oh, do we get a moonsault into the trash can?
Yeah, with Dakota in it.
Again, it didn't look like it bent the trash at all.
No, I mean, all of these spots where someone's in it, it's probably going to hurt the person doing the move more.
Yeah.
Than...
Because it's pointy and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know what they're using. It's clearly not like something that's exactly going to hurt, but it's also probably not like actual tinfoil. So it's got to be some sort of in between. But yeah, it didn't bend there at all. It kind of, maybe it's because there's not enough weight on some of these people.
I mean, we've seen it with taking spots with the women before, haven't we? Like, Io is tiny.
So is Dakota.
Yeah.
So maybe there's just not enough weight to break it or bend it in certain ways. This is where Mandy does come out, and it's like a whole thing of war, getting the war pose off. Everyone's ready. When we get this odd moment where Cora Jade's like, fuck war, I'm hurt. I'm just chilling in the corner doing the Raven spot. Road Dogg Rumble spot.
Yeah.
And Kaylee Ray has a kendo stick and then turns around slowly, and Cora's like, no, what are you doing? Stop. Kaylee, stop. What are you doing? And then Kaylee's like, yeah. About to swing it at her. But then turns around, and then they all run, and then she swings it at the other.
Yeah, this made no sense. We've had no story on TV of there being tension between Cora Jade and Kaylee Ray. There's not been any will they get along in this. We keep bringing it up, but we recently reviewed the 2001 Survivor Series Alliance versus WWF, where there's this whole, is Steve Austin actually Team WWF? Is he going to screw him over? And there's all those teasers who's going to screw who over. That makes sense, doing the tease. I'm on the other team, and then turning and beating them up.
Yeah.
But it was just Kaylee Ray. It's like, this isn't part of the story. Why are you doing this? It's not helping anyone.
It was weird, and it didn't come across.
It really fell flat, this thing.
Yeah, it was kind of strange. Well, then they're all beating each other up. There's more trash can shots. There's then a Rose trigger to some trash cans, which Mandy Rose's move there, for a near fall on Cora Jade, who kicks out with her shoulder, and the crowd chants bullshit because she uses her bad shoulder.
She just, so Cora's doing a lot of these saves. She just broke up one of the pins as well, where she's doing her bad arm as well. So but she's sacrificing herself, and now kicking out of the Rose trigger with a bad arm.
The bad shoulder, yeah. So there's just chaos everywhere. There's then Jacey, who some reason she's climbing up, and it's Raquel who hits the Chingona bomb while Jacey's like climbing up, so it's even higher. This slamming her down, but in the process, like she I think falls over and runs. Or no, her and Mandy I think run into each other after the fact. So Jacey's just laid out. Cora Jade goes on top. 1, 2, 3. Cora Jade gets the win for her team at WarGames. Bad shoulder and all.
Yeah.
Hey, look, if this is all just a work, great acting chops, kid, honestly. But a little, like, this match was just a little all over the place.
Yeah, there were some things I really liked about this match, and then there were definite... I found the camera work in this match especially was a little all over the place, especially when we went to the match beyond where all 8 competitors were in there.
The match beyond's when it actually...
When the match starts,
right.
When everyone's in there. There was definitely some spots missed, and it just got a little confusing. That Kaylee Ray stuff really didn't work for me at all. I did like the shoulder spot. I thought her selling was great, especially right at the beginning. It got a little overacty at the end, with her getting the win. And yeah, some fun spots. The Swanton was cool. EO's like just hot tag, if you will, when she entered the match was really fun. But the babyface advantage thing doesn't work at all either.
Yeah, it's a little backwards. It definitely made the crowd boo.
Yeah.
The good guys.
But I thought it was fun. Wouldn't say it was a great match, but I didn't mind watching this at all. I quite enjoyed it.
Yeah. I didn't necessarily hate this, but it definitely had some stuff in it that made me kind of go, oh boy. But there was some good stuff in it too. Like we mentioned, that Swanton off the top was pretty impressive. Also, the EO spot, again, kind of weird, but maybe it's not because we don't see it often. But it was interesting. It had our attention, and we were definitely like focused in. Like, is she hurt? Is she selling? And then EO trying to be it's like almost like the I don't like you thing, but now it's I'm gonna fix your arm.
Yeah.
It's weird, but I'm down. It's cool, but it's hard to do the camera work with 2 rings and 2 cages, but like totally missing. Like there was a spot Dakota setting up for like the roll of the dice onto like a chair or something, and like stops, and then the cameraman turns and then quickly turns away, and you could tell she was like waiting, and then just like fuck's sake, and does it anyways, and they didn't catch it. So It's like, okay, what's going on? But I would say this was a messy match, but you're right. I didn't hate it. It was fun, but kind of what I was expecting, to be honest, from this match.
I thought it could have been a lot worse.
You thought someone's shoulder was definitely getting popped out.
I thought, and I was like, when that happened, you're going, yeah, well, this is why you don't have these 2.0ers doing a WarGames match. But I thought it's, and you don't know, maybe the lack of experience is why perhaps these people don't know how to pull focus for spots, in these big matches. Because surely, camera work needs to know where to look, but they need to, whoever's producing it or whatever, you need to see, okay, they're doing the big spot now. Like Dakota and Cora, they're doing the big spot. I don't know, but yeah, it was one. I'd say it's one of the weakest of the women's. It's probably the weakest women's WarGames matches we've had, but I had fun with it.
Did you like it more than Blood and Guts?
This was more memorable, I'd say.
Yeah, I mean, there was a shoulder pop.
Like,
You're sorry.
I remember the swanton off the top through the table.
You're telling
and the Cora Jade's shoulder spot. What happened in Blood and Guts?
I know that Sammy slipped or something.
Sammy did some dive from one ring to the other. That's it. Yeah. Whereas I can tell you spots from most other WarGames.
Yeah, interesting.
I can tell you 2 from this one.
It's funny though. If you told me Toxic Attraction is in a WarGames match and the only thing to pop out was Cora's shoulder.
Behave.
They went 31 minutes 22 seconds.
Yeah, I mean you've got every 3 minutes, long. Isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a long match.
Yeah. Well, Cora Jade gets the win, which means I think we have a challenger for Mandy Rose. I mean, she had a little bit of feud, that's why she's in this, but now, I mean, you pinned someone, you deserve a shot in one way or another, but I think the right person won. Honestly, Cora Jade hasn't done much for me on NXT 2.0 lately, but seeing her here, both you did a crazy spot and you did some acting and you got the win, they're probably pushing you.
Yeah, it seems that way.
So good for her.
Yeah.
Honestly. And 20 years old?
And actually, she's the youngest person ever to have done WarGames, right? And why not? If she's already got that stat, like, give her something.
Yeah. No, that's like I can't tell you what I was doing at 20 years old.
Yeah.
Not jumping off cages.
I can't tell you what I'm doing at 32, to be honest. Oh, I did want to say I think it was the most impressive Gigi's looked as well since.
Sure, yeah.
I thought her bit with, sorry, not Dakota. Who was it that started? Kaylee Ray. She had a really nice sequence with her, and I think she showed more than she's shown on NXT.
Yeah, she did some cool moves, the German suplexes, some cool like roundhouse kick stuff. Looking at her Twitter, I saw someone in the Twitch chat was mentioning her makeup tonight, Gigi, was based on Daphne.
Oh,
so,
okay.
Shout out Daphne.
Sense.
Yeah. Well, after WarGames ends, they all celebrate. It cuts to first vignette of many tonight. The first one being one we've seen already a few times. Tiffany, Daddy's little princess.
Tiffany Stratton.
Daddy's girl.
Mm-hmm.
She's out Rodeo Drive, 90210. She's just shopping and living the best life. Coming soon.
Yeah, it's all the stuff we've seen before.
I'm wondering if they also just aired these because they're like, hey, maybe people will watch and want to see.
I think so. I mean, I think this probably makes more sense if you're not airing the commercials to do this rather than, you know, loads of WWE shop or what's happening on Raw. We know from doing our watch along, there are a lot of people tuning into this who haven't watched any of 2.0 so far.
Yeah.
So it's not a bad idea showing you some of what's going on.
Look, it's annoying when you're airing stuff that we've already seen a lot of the times, but then they aired the Briggs and Jensen steak promo.
Oh, I'm so glad because so many more people got to see this now. This was the one where I go, you know, after the first time you showed this, you should probably learn not
Never play this
is
ever
where you put
again.
WWEshop.com.
Literally play an ad instead of this. We were howling.
I get so much enjoyment out of this. It's so
What's
bad.
fucked is we were doing a watch along while watching this, and it aired this, and we both started popping. We knew it was the same one because it starts with the steak and stuff. We're like, is this a new one or is this the same one? They just played Tiffany's one; it was the same, so it's probably just the same one. And you got in your chair and you knew all the words. How many times have you watched?
We've seen it quite a few times, to be honest. It's our new Gargano v Almas and Chill is Brooks and Jensen
Eating
steak.
How do you like your steak? My
Dad always told me to leave the steak on the oven a long time because I like mine perfectly
medium rare. So funny. I'm glad more people.
My dad didn't care that I got kicked off the football team.
Fuck.
He was just glad I didn't tarnish the family name.
And he's playing what, horseshoes? The one guy's got the Freebird shirt on. Like, this is the funniest shit I've seen. This is terrible. This was they originally aired this 1 week after the Kyle and Vaughn thing. So Kyle and Vaughn got off fucking scot-free. Like, Tuck and Ridley. They were
We ain't gonna see that again.
Yeah, no one will bug them about that. But now people are like, yo, did you see these guys cooking steaks? So fucking funny. This highlighted the show. I was watching this again.
Yeah, it was so good.
Trust me, there's more of them. There's Boa.
We had Boa.
He says he's possessed.
Yeah, we saw this one on Tuesday.
Yeah, he's
possessed by Mei Ying.
Possessed by Mei Ying, of course, to get the vapes out.
And they tell us the shaman will be revealed this Tuesday.
That's right, the shaman. It's going to be Santa Claus, right?
Yeah, probably.
Should be Bret Hart.
Bret?
You saw the video around him talking about pot? Should be Bret. I want to smoke a joint with Bret Hart. 4 out of 10 joint with Bret Hart.
4 out of 10, yeah.
We go to Team Black and Gold, DIY, Pete Dunne, and LA Knight backstage. They're getting ready, and it's just kind of Johnny looking serious. And they mention that Johnny's going to start the match tonight.
Yeah, he says, tonight is my first WarGames match, and it might be my last. Kind of indicating perhaps moving on.
Some things here. We go to our next match, NXT Tag Team Championship on the line. The champions Imperium, meaning Marcel Bartel and Fabian Eichner, going up against their challengers, Von Wagner and Kyle O'Reilly.
Oh, yeah.
They're out there.
The out there lads.
Yeah. Kyle doesn't even get his own music. He gets Von's music.
Well, yeah, he's the bigger guy, right? There was, though, Von... Like, Kyle's clearly been listening to Von Wagner's music. They were probably having a little debate somewhere in the woods.
Right.
With a can of beer.
Heineken.
Yeah, some Heineken. and they're going, look, we don't have time for both of us to have an entrance, so we've got to pick what music to do.
It's definitely not Kyle's thing.
And Kyle's pushing for his, and Von's like, look, play it. And Kyle's like listening. It's like listening. Yeah.
And an air guitar?
And then it's got the da-ga-da-da-ga-da, and he's like, cool, Von, we're good. We'll take yours.
He did air guitar.
I can air guitar to it. That's all right.
He did. It's okay. In a few days, he'll be coming out to Red Dragon's team. We get Von Wagner, Kyle O'Reilly. He's Imperium. Look like statues. They look like not real human. They look photoshopped. They're European male model underwear guys, but they're jacked. They're not wearing their jackets, Imperium jackets, but they're wearing really cool gear, like with their flags on the side of like where they're from and stuff. And Von is wearing the same shit he was wearing on Tuesday. The brown fucking yoga pants.
Like, pretty much everyone on the show had, big fight, like NXT TakeOver style gear.
Big fight gear.
These tights are awful. It reminds me of the Shawn Michaels
Survivor Series
Poopy Elimination
tights.
Chamber. They're terrible.
Yeah.
And Kyle's weren't much better.
Kyle had feet on his knee pads.
Feet on them. It was like murky green and brown.
Like the Ninja Turtle Foot Clan.
Yeah, like we were debating. It's like, okay, well, is Kyle staying? Is he going? If he's staying, probably going to win this thing. See these two gears? Like, no, you can't put the titles on these two.
Big bad Von in yoga pants. Like, what? What's going on here? Well, Imperium looked great, and this match is a bit of a banger. Kyle is in with Bartel early on, and they're going back and forth. There's a crazy spot where he transitions moves into an armbar early on, but Bartel is scared. He gets out of it. There's then chops, and Imperium love to open palm chop.
Yeah, it sound great.
Very impressive, but Kyle is no stranger to the chops as well, who comes back. Eichner catches, I think, is it Vaughn at one point in the air for a fireman carry senton spot, which is crazy considering the size. Vaughn comes back, though, with power slams and gut-wrench suplexes of his own. He does this backdrops thing on the apron while Kyle jumps off of it and hits a running knee to someone else on the other side. In the ring, Vaughn hits an angle slam for a near fall. There's then Kyle locking in a triangle. Somehow he gets out of it, and then they put him upside down and hit a triangle drop kick where they both run at the same time and hit you with that upside down drop kick for a near fall. Eichner then is sent to the outside, and it's, I think, Kyle who locks in some sort of heel hook now on Bartel, and it looks as if he could tap, but Eichner comes back with this springboard double rope jump moonsault.
Yeah, this is what he finishes with a lot of the time.
We used to see him do this quite a lot, yeah.
Looks great, and to the timing of it, you saw on the replay, Kyle's got this heel hook locked in, and then he looks just as Eichner's landing to try and let go to get out of it and just get squashed. This looked awesome.
Yeah, great timing as well. On to Kyle to break up the move here. There's then a guillotine to Eichner from Kyle. Then after he gets that broken up, he goes after him and puts him in a guillotine. Eichner is selling it like death. Eventually comes back to life. The ref checks him, and then he fades and completely goes limp. And then all of a sudden comes back to life again, lifts up Kyle while he's still in the triangle. Pure MMA experts say, don't ever do this. You'll hurt yourself. But Eichner does not care. Lifts him up and fucking power bombs him. This is nuts.
They've really been giving Eichner these power spots, these kind of featured moments. It reminds me of what they do with Cesaro. They always give Cesaro like this, like either a swing during the Rumble or some kind of really impressive feat of strength. It's really good, and it really works for him. And I think it's definitely, I feel Imperium are leaning way more babyface and way more fan-friendly than they used to, and giving Eichner these spots. The crowd love it, and it just looked so good.
Yeah, how would you not cheer these guys? Yeah. They're doing really impressive stuff.
They weren't doing anything heelish tonight, which is interesting.
Yeah, it's true.
And the other week, was it MSK attacked them, and you were like, these guys seem like the baby faces now.
Oh, they're foreigners? They're bad guys. The match continues. There's, like you said, there's that lift up. Then there's roll-ups and roll-ups again. There's boots to the face. There's then the high-low, which is hit. But the ref is distracted. And then when he turns around to finally count the pin, it's a kick out. They weren't down enough for that. So Vaughn and Kyle are a little like, oh, we hit the move we said we were going to hit, but they got out of it. What are we going to do? So they're a little paranoid here. Eichner does another double rope jump to the outside onto Vaughn here, which is just crazy.
It was, I think he got Irish whipped as well, and he was like, nope, just jumps on this top rope, flying out.
Vaughn was far.
Yeah.
You could see Vaughn being like, sorry almost, because he caught him, but like in the last nick of time there.
Yeah, crazy dive.
It looked like Eichner landed on his hand, but again, crazy spot from Fabian Eichner. In the ring, Kyle hits a snap brain buster on Bartel for a 2 count, then transitions that into an arm triangle. And this is where Eichner lifts him up from this triangle. Again, this is where he played limp and everything, because he had it in him earlier. But again, Eichner's acting and selling here was fantastic. The ref checks him, and he comes back, but then again, he's like limp. He lifts him up for the powerbomb. He walks backwards. Bartel tags him in.
Even the strength here, like being able to get him up. And we see this spot, like Roman does it all the time, the one-arm powerbomb. But then being able to realize your position in the ring, walk back to allow Bartel to tag you, really impressive.
While you're still holding this guy, and then Bartel flies off the top with the uppercut to hit the Imperium bomb, the Euro bomb. 1, 2, 3, it's over. Imperium retain.
I thought this match was really good. This was my match of the night. This to me felt like a match worthy to be on a takeover. I think Imperium they've seemed to got this new lease of life almost, I feel. We've always known they're good, and they've had good matches before, but I think the division's been kind of a bit shaky, so we kind of welcome some old blood, especially in this 2.0 era, to kind of hold down the fort. And being in there with Kyle, sure, I'd have liked Kyle in the WarGames match later, but seeing Kyle go at it with Marcel, going at it with Eichner as well, was a lot of fun. And I think again, Wagner more than held his own. I'm still not sold on him, and a lot is kind of down to the look for me. But I think he has held his own during these tag matches.
He has. He does really cool moves. It definitely comes down to he looks so generic in these tights, I guess, because he looks fine. If he wore maybe something a little flashier, he'd be fine. But
I think Bron stands out, right? Like his look and everything. I'm sure it's got the Steiner's thing, but it looks distinctive.
Yeah, this guy can work. Don't get me wrong. I love this. Imperium we've talked about for so long about how like they're amazing, and they're supposed to be in this Imperium thing with Walter. I know there's potential of him coming to the States. He's looking jacked on social media. So if Walter comes back to team with these guys again, they could be like a huge unit on the main roster.
Yeah.
Like they're doing flashy, great looking stuff. So why aren't these guys like they're the champions here, and that's great, but they're finally getting to this spot. But there's something after the match though that we need to talk about, because after the match, the crowd here chant "Thank you, Kyle," and Vaughn and him are like, "We'll get him next time." And Vaughn's just like smiling.
Vaughn's like encouraging the chants as well, like clapping him. They're really doing the send off moment for Kyle O'Reilly.
And then Vaughn turns around, runs at Kyle for a clothesline, but Kyle saw it coming, ducks, kicks the shit out of Vaughn, and sends him out of there, beats him up, and is like, no. He told him when they were joining his friends. He says, like,
I knew I'd never trust you, and he says, like, you think this was important to me? This was important. Throws up the UE.
Undisputed Era.
And then goes, suck it.
Damn.
I loved this. This was great. We never really see the babyface scout this turn, and I thought it was awesome. Kyle's had been turned on too many times. He knew it was coming. He smelt it. And again, this kind of felt like a takeover worthy moment for me. This felt a bit that sounds ridiculous. This felt like Roddy joining thing. This is Von fucking Wagner. But you know what I mean? It was a cool moment that got a big reaction, and Kyle standing tall, which is what we want on this show.
He told them when they were being friends, like, no,
I want to be on my own.
I know what you're gonna do, and I don't want you to do that. That keeps happening to me. Like, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, never get fooled again. Shout out George Bush. Yeah, but like, fuck, like, it fits the storyline. If Kyle were to get dummied here, he would look like a dummy. He would look stupid.
Yeah,
because it's like, dude, you knew this guy was gonna do that to you. So, Kyle stands strong here. So we could assume they're gonna have a match.
Well, yeah, we might as well just talk
now. Yeah. Later in the night, Kyle O'Reilly cuts a promo backstage. He's all fired up and says, Like, oh, you thought you were going to take me out, huh? You thought you were going to do that, huh? Well, I wasn't in WarGames tonight, but I'm hungry for some steel. So leave the cage up Tuesday night. Vaughn versus Kyle inside a solid steel cage. Yeah.
Will it be Kyle's send-off?
I think so. I think so, friend.
Yeah.
He's going to go hang out. He did the UE thing, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, he's saying... It's more so Red Dragon. They're
the original 3 of UE as well.
They are.
Over there.
Yeah, there's a lot of people who are like, well, what about Roddy? What about Roddy? But they were a thing before Roddy. So, also... I just want to see him...
And timing-wise, it would just be like it was in NXT. Roddy just joins a little later.
Yeah, why not?
He can go over there and be like, nah, I don't want to.
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
They can just recreate the whole thing.
They can literally do the whole thing.
You know what I loved about this promo? Is right away, I was like, where has this Kyle O'Reilly been so long?
Yeah.
Him sounding fired up, passionate about something like we saw in the Cole feud. It's like, yeah, here's that guy that we thought this time last year was going to be NXT champion.
Yeah.
There's that guy again.
Yeah, I would
Not
like...
cool Kyle who wears jean vests and hangs out in the woods with his mates. Like, no, this is what we want.
I want to see the wrestling, and he's one of the best at it. There's so much more out there. I see people being like, oh, they're just going to redo Undisputed Era. It's like, no. It's like Kyle Danielson, Kyle Gresham, anybody else who's not wrestling in the WWE. There's so many talented people out there that I want to see this guy team with. I don't even want to see him team with Adam Cole and stuff. Stay away from Adam Cole if you want, but it would make sense to bring him in that way.
Yeah.
But teaming with Bobby Fish with Red Dragon, get that theme music back. Fuck yeah, man. There's so many matches you can go to.
There's already a story there.
There's so much storytelling.
Where I do think the roster's bloated.
Yeah.
And you do worry. I worry more about a Gargano, like, at the moment. Because he's my favourite.
Yeah.
Right? And you do look at AEW and say, well, we've introduced so many people, whereas a Kyle can just slot in. Like we saw in Adam Cole, it's like, well, we just slot you there.
Right.
Bobby Fish, we can slot you there.
Yeah.
I see it being a bit more difficult with Johnny. But yeah, I think I'm quite looking forward to this cage match. I think it's going to be a real test for Wagner, who's the only kind of singles we've seen have been squashes. So
I think it'll be great.
A real test. I think it should be pretty good.
Yeah. Our boy Kyle's jobbing.
Losing to Bron on his way out.
Oh, of course. You got a job on the way out.
Yeah.
Sorry, Kyle, but you do. Yeah, and Kyle can go.
But I'd like to see Von get something from this. Like, this is the perfect time. You turned heel, change your look. Look different.
Yeah.
Do something dastardly to send Kyle on his way out and get some steam moving forwards.
Yeah, 100%. But I thought this match was pretty good. It reminded me of the old school takeover tag matches. Definitely got into it, but it shows you how talented all 4 of these guys, even Vaughn, man. Again, the wrestling is there for me. His wrestling's awesome. It's definitely coming down to a character or something along those lines. So a heel turn and a change definitely works. But give me Kyle O'Reilly versus so many different wrestlers over there in the other world, because I want to see it. We go to more of these vignettes.
We can go out. We've seen them all, haven't we?
Well, there's one that I definitely want to talk about.
Oh God. Are we at that point already?
Is it Giro? No, there was a second Giro one. Okay, we got Giro and Santos. We'll talk about it later, because they air 2 Giro ones.
Okay.
And one of them I've never seen before.
Yeah.
And I need to talk about it, but we'll talk about it in a little bit. What a tease. We get a reminder that I Don't Know and Offset did the theme, Shoot My Shot, for WarGames. Sounds cool. I like both those artists. We go to some hair games. Hair versus hair. What's going on? Don't call it a takeover. It's a hair versus hair match. Cameron Grimes versus Duke Hudson. Now, I'm assuming that I'm going to go here and assume that most listeners don't watch NXT but listen to us week by week. Hello to the people who don't even listen to the TV stuff but just listen to the takeover reviews. Duke Hudson, just so we're all clear, is a poker player.
Yeah, and he told us tonight that poker and wrestling go hand in hand. Who'd have thought it? I never knew that.
No.
But yeah, you're a good poker player means you're a good wrestler. This feud has been odd, to say the least. The gimmick is death for Duke Hudson, I think. And I think he's pretty capable. I think he's pretty capable on the mic. I think he's pretty capable in the ring. And Cameron Grimes, we've seen make, what's the term, turning chicken shit into chicken salad.
Right.
And I think this could have all been way, way worse than it was, but Grimes, once again, lifting terrible material. And he's been a bit big match Grimes for me. When it's come to these kind of takeover matches, he has delivered. So I came into this one thinking, yeah, the poker thing sucks, but we might get a good match tonight. And hair versus hair can be fun.
Your favorite match ever, Edge and Kurt
Edge
Angle.
versus Kurt Angle, yeah.
Well, this match starts off, the loser will be shaved bald. They even mentioned that if Grimes loses, they're going to shave his beard too.
Yeah.
Which I think isn't fair. You should also shave Duke's beard then,
I think
too.
so, yeah.
Eyebrows,
both look like
everything.
an egg. Shave everything.
Yeah.
All your hair goes.
Grimes and Duke, they start off here with back of punches and strikes. There's a series of roll-ups back and forth, some near falls to get the crowd hot early on. On the outside, Duke hits this belly-to-belly overhead throw, which looked pretty nice, and Grimes is selling it. Barely makes the 10 count. Imagine having to shave your hair because you couldn't make the 10 count. Ah, that'd be awful. Grimes runs the ropes, so does Duke, and Grimes hits the collision course for a near fall. There's then a roll-up from Duke, but the ref notices that Duke Hudson's grabbing the rope, so he's like, you can't do that. And it allows Grimes to get to his feet, super kick to the face, and then a crazy poison Rana, and then a crossbody off the top for a near fall. Grimes is setting up for the cave-in, but it's Duke who counters with the boss man slam, the winds of change. Wade Barrett's really mad that Grimes kicks out of it because it's a finish to him. He picks up Grimes for a Razor's Edge power bomb. It's because he wears the gold vest like Razor Ramon, I think.
It was the gold trunks he had. He had this shitty black long.
Oh, he didn't even
vest.
wear the gold vest today.
No,
Yeah.
Mello had his gold vest on
he
later.
borrowed it. Yeah. Well, the Razor's Edge is countered into a roll-up, and Grimes grabs a handful of tights here, gets the 1-2-3, and wins the match. He's going to shave his head. I guess I'll go into it. He goes to shave Duke's head, because in one ring, they got the barber's chair set up with the thing and everything, and one ring they were fighting in. Duke realizes he lost and goes no, and beats up Cameron Grimes and puts Grimes in the chair. Oh no. But Grimes fights back, plays possum for a second, beats him up, boots him in the head, hits him with a cave-in.
It looked a nasty one. He landed on his neck.
Ouch. The stomp there. Puts him in the seat, gets the electric razor, and starts shaving Duke's head. He was giving him like a design, like a sick fade, bro. Like Suzuki or something here. And as he's doing it, Duke wakes up and realizes that his hair's going missing. So he's got like the reverse mohawk, like Legion of Doom kind of thing. And he runs up and runs away all bald.
I think we're going to see him playing with... we're not going to have the reveal for a while. He's going to be in a hat. He's going to...
It's like CM Punk.
Yeah, kind of. That kind of
Vince
thing.
McMahon or something.
Angle did it with the wrestling headgear, with the wig.
Yeah.
I can see him doing that
Vince
kind of thing.
Vince with the do-rag.
Yeah.
So...
This... When it started, I thought, this could be pretty good. I like how they went into it like a fight right away. But then it very quickly became just a TV match for me.
Yeah, there was some cool spots, like I said, a Poison Rana, some super kicks, and some cool looking stuff, but it didn't quite get a level of... There was
a lot of downtime, whereas we've seen where we've kind of gone into these matches with like LA Knight and Cameron Grimes, and they keep getting like escalating, and you go, actually, you're putting on a good match, and I think the pacing's been better. I felt, the pace wasn't great for this, and I like Grimes a lot. I think he's really good and shows how good he is here. But this didn't really work for me, and definitely didn't feel like takeover worthy.
No, it felt like TV for sure. Yeah. So he shaved part of his head. So is he gonna leave the hair like that or shave it?
We'll get it all off professionally.
Yeah, I hope so. Because imagine you had to like live with that for a few weeks if you're gonna have that storyline.
Yeah.
Like the messed up hair. Like if you're bald, no one's gonna care. But if you like shave your head in different pieces, people are gonna be like, "What's
shave half of it off?"
People are gonna be like, "What's wrong with this guy?
Yeah.
This guy looks weird." So Cameron Grimes doesn't have to shave his head, and the poker. Maybe this is the last we see of this feud. Probably not.
Probably not.
No, probably not. We go. This is when they advertise the January 4th Tuesday special, New Year's Evil. The promo is cool. It's like a crowd cheering and someone in like a cloak, like a hood, like a Jedi robe, and then it cuts slowly, and then they take the robe off, and it's Mandy, but like kind of like a devil Mandy, and she like
her eyes all glowing red.
It's like the dog in the beginning of Goosebumps. like the yellow eyes. It's like slash. Michael Jackson at the end of Thriller, like looks back, the eyes. Yeah, New Year's Evil, and it shows clips of all the evil stuff we've seen, like Dexter and stuff.
So probably, a lot of title matches. Probably Mandy's defense there, and I'd imagine Braun and Ciampa.
Yeah, probably we're going with that.
Braun, Ciampa, Cora, Mandy. Is that what we're doing?
Do it. Book it. We go to our next match. Roderick Strong versus Joe Gacy. The NXT Cruiserweight Championship is on the line. No, Joe Gacy is not under 205, but they're making an exception. And Joe Gacy claims he's going to win this title and make it an all-inclusive championship, meaning there's no borders here. There's no gender, no species. It doesn't matter. Anyone can fight for this title if he wins it in the world of Joe Gacy. So Roddy comes out with Diamond Mine. They're doing like a whole MMA camp entrance. Got the Creed Bros, Niles. She's
all in
walking.
their tracksuits.
They've
put a flag, haven't they?
Yeah, it's like a MMA, UFC. It reminded me of Dodgeball almost when they come out with the snake thing. They're all ready. They're back in Roderick Strong here. This match, they get an intro like it's a title match. So I did like the lights and the intro and stuff. But the ref looks like he's like 13 years old. Oh yeah,
this is the kid ref.
Kid ref. A kid. It's just a ref.
Roddy's son's grown up fast.
I don't know.
Is this who it was?
It's just weird. This guy just really looked young. Yeah. Roddy beats down on Joe Gacy. He doesn't like all this woke shit, so he hits him with a backbreaker and another one. He starts chopping him, and he doesn't like Joe Gacy's attire here, obviously wearing the black dress shirt. So he rips it off with the buttons flying everywhere and then starts to chop Joe Gacy, who's wearing a singlet underneath. Roddy then beats him up, throws him around, hits another backbreaker. He goes for a superplex off the top rope for a near fall. He goes for the Gibson special, but I don't know what happened here. Gacy just didn't connect or something. It's the Gibson's like when you fireman carry into the knees.
Oh, the gut buster.
Yeah, it was weird. It was Gacy wasn't there at all for it, but near fall there. We get the Stronghold, the Boston Crab from Roderick Strong. Gacy gets out of that and then applies a crossface to Roddy, kind of showing off, I can do submission wrestling too. He kind of shocks Roddy here. He sends Roddy to the outside and the Diamond Mine all circle him and they're fanning him like, get up, Roddy. So Gacy runs the ropes and does a tope over the top rope onto all of them, taking them out. And then Gacy has a face-to-face with Ivy. Here he's staring at her and it looks like they're about to go at it or something.
It's like, we can fight too when I win this title.
Yeah, we can fight. But Gacy, his friend Harland, he shows up behind and just picks up Ivy Nile, just lifts her up in the air, and Gacy starts like his facial reactions are crazy. He's like, stop, put her down, it's okay, put her down. Goose Fraba, whatever.
It's like Black Widow with the Hulk, right? Just calming him down. Look at me. It's okay.
Woo-sa.
It's okay.
Woo-sa. And then he puts her down, goes back in the ring, hits this really nice looking powerbomb on Roderick Strong.
Oh yeah,
for a near fall. But Roddy gets back to his feet. They go back for back, blow for blow. It's the end of Heartache. The suplex into the double knees from Roddy. 1, 2, 3. The Cruiserweight title is still not all inclusive.
Yeah,
only for cruiserweights.
Yeah, this felt like a TV match for me. I love Roderick Strong, but his matches recently haven't been impressive to me.
No,
and I kind of felt Joe Gacy actually stood out more than him tonight, doing some stuff that, for a guy his size, is pretty impressive. He definitely, I see a lot of comparisons to Kevin Owens, and I kind of do see it, like with his style and look. But yeah, Roddy just not really hitting it for me recently, and I can't really see where you go from here because they've released like most of the division,
the cruiserweights.
So I almost felt this could have been Gacy's night where we can just do some
right off that
fun
title
stuff with it for a bit. I enjoyed the stuff with Holland. I think we're going to see more of that where Gacy will let him off his leash sometimes to attack, but the fact that he can calm this big, I genuinely find this guy terrifying,
so scary
to look at.
He's so big.
So I do think it's it's kind of goofy, but I do think it's working for me, his kind of partnership with Haaland. But yeah, this match didn't really hit.
No, Gacy can definitely go. There's no debate.
Yeah.
It's just, it didn't hit for me. It felt like a TV match.
I also thought the way the card was laid out was wrong. I'd have put probably this after the women's match, then have the tag, like break up these two singles matches.
Right.
We had two singles matches back to back
That no one cared about.
Really, no one cared about. This was set up 2 weeks ago. It's just been a couple of backstage skits. It's not really, doesn't feel like a blood feud or anything. It felt throwaway, and having them back to back, I felt it really dragged the show.
Yeah, I didn't care for it as much. I love Roddy, but I don't know what we're doing with the Cruiserweight title if now there's no one for him to really defend it. If they're even going to keep it as a title, but I guess we'll see where it goes. I'm more interested in seeing Gacy and Haaland, where they go with this kind of thing. Like, are they going to be a tag team? Are they going to
Tag team who? MSK? Could they go after?
I don't know, because we have champs that are heels right now. So, but still,
I'd say MSK perhaps.
The shaman is Haaland.
The shaman's Haaland.
The shaman's Joe Gacy, and they become woke.
Oh.
Sorry, we won't smoke weed. We won't. No, smoke people smoke weed. We won't. I don't know. What do they do? That's not. I guess
I think they're pretty woke.
They're pretty woke. Yeah. Fuck. They are. They can already join them. Yeah. We're woke. We're with you. Yeah. Legalize it.
Yeah. Exactly.
Peace.
The crowd, like people in the crowd, were joining in with Gacy. Gacy had a new music.
Music.
And
yeah.
we're just doing all the peace signs in the crowd.
All you need to do is
like this guy.
I want CJ Parker to come back from Juice Robinson. Join the peace. Yeah. The Peace Corps. Wade Barrett's their manager.
Wade loves them. Like Wade's totally into these guys.
Book it. The woke warriors. Woke WarGames.
Wade's like, I never got to go for that title either. It's wrong.
It's wrong. Why can't a big guy go for the Cruiserweight title? Shame. Weight shaming. Damn. I think it would have been more interesting if this guy won the title.
Yeah.
Joe Gacy, our favorite wrestler and character ever. I love it. I do miss his old music though.
I can't remember it, to be honest.
It was nice. It was good.
It all sounds the same.
Hey, we're going to go to
some more... my age, it all sounds the same.
Devil's music. We go to the vignette I wanted to talk about. It's Jiro. And I thought, we already saw Jiro. What's going on with... We got more Jiro.
Yeah.
He's talking about how he's jacket... He doesn't mention jacket time because Kushida's not there. But he's style strong. He's wearing his jacket. He takes his jacket off. He's in his house. He's in his kitchen or something. And he's got his food like delivery, like Postmark. What's the food services out there? Skip the Dishes. We have Uber Eats, whatever. His food shows up.
Yeah.
And he's got 3 gallons of ice cream in front of him. He's got 2 giant super slices of pizza. He's got all this food. A giant Slurpee.
Oh, the Slurpee, yeah.
Giant Slurpee here. And then music hits, and then it's like fast forward, and he's like eating all this food really, really fast.
He's going like round 1, and he's just taking scoops of ice cream or shoving pizza in his mouth at the same time.
He's just eating, and then he burps, and then he holds his stomach like, oh, round 2, and then he just starts eating all the food again, scooping ice cream, eating the pizza, eating the second super slice, drinking more of the Slurpee, just ridiculous. And then he's all smiling again, and then he holds his stomach, and you hear it rumbling, and he's like, ooh, so runs to the washroom. Yes, Jiro goes to the bathroom again. This is the second time Jiro's been in the bathroom on NXT in the past few weeks. He goes to the washroom. He goes into a stall. You see his pants go down to his ankles, and then you hear poop noises, like just straight up,
like cartoon, like poop fart.
Think about when you're just spraying the bowl, just going at it. Jiro's going to town. He then opens up the door to the stall and goes, shouldn't have had that second super slice. And then it's Jiro, NXT. What the fuck?
What the fuck was this?
I thought I was tripping.
You know what? I watched this and when I can't wait for the match.
Jiro versus...
just, like, this made me so hyped for him as a wrestler. Watching, like, what the fuck does this... Like, what the fuck does Poke have to do with wrestling? What the fuck does... Okay, this man is an idiot. He eats too much pizza and ice cream. He's like us after a night out.
Yeah, is
when
this
we
my
get the
gimmick?
munchies. Like, what? Yeah, bizarre.
Like,
Really
come on.
bizarre. It looks like he's having the time of his life. I think
He
he's...
tweeted this week saying, like, yo, I'm having the best time of my life. I'm wrestling in WWE. Fuck off, essentially, is what he tweeted. But, like, dude, you're shaking his shit.
Like, where does this lead to? Like, what?
Well, if you flush, hopefully Montreal. But I don't know. I don't know why this guy's taking his shit.
He was also... Like, he was really getting into it with the... He was scooping the ice cream out with his hands.
It's cold when you do that. This was insane. I think I have more to say on this than anything else on the show. I hate the fact that this guy formed a tag team with Kushida in the pisser like weeks ago, and now we have him going and just what else do you do in the bathroom?
Jacket time over though, because there was no mention of jacket.
They didn't
time.
mention it, but this looked like they could have filmed this like they're just airing these vignettes. This could have been one they never aired because they're like,
I bet we see this again on Tuesday.
fuck. If you didn't see this, you have to find it.
I need to
Shiro
see.
taking
Is there like
shit.
a .com exclusive where someone comes out of the toilet next to him
Next
and
to
they're
him?
mad and they want to fight?
Who does number 2 work for? I don't understand why this guy keeps having to do this poo poo pee pee shit.
Yeah, I mean,
So fucking weird. This guy just takes.
at
his
least
shit.
he's like he was already a comedy wrestler,
Yeah.
right? At least this isn't like Kyle O'Reilly doing this.
Well, we're. that's what he turned down.
Yeah.
Instead, he got Vaughn. But like, we're talking about Roddy not having opponents for the cruiserweight division, and then we got this guy right here. But now he's taking a big shit in the bathroom
Yeah.
at WarGames. Like, fuck, man, this is bad. This is so stupid.
Yeah.
Love it. Can't wait for more of it. I miss jacket time already.
So Vince is gonna love this guy.
Vince probably loves him already.
Vince needs to just take him to Raw right now.
Yeah.
Play with Reginald and R-Truth. They can all have shits in the toilet. Reggie can flip away.
On the top of the stalls.
Yeah.
While Jiro's...
Dana Brooks still 24/7 champion.
Jiro goes to take his shit. He leaves his jacket, and someone steals the jacket. So now the story is, I need my jacket or something.
He doesn't want the title. He just is going after his
He
jacket.
wants his jacket back.
Yeah.
Guys, this was so bad. I can't fathom who works on
It's
NXT these days?
developmental, so they're like, yeah, you gotta be prepared for your poop.
Everybody
Poop
poops.
jokes.
Okay, everybody poops, but like, fuck, this guy had to go. That's his gimmick now. Is he eats too much and takes massive.
I
shits?
relate. I do relate.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, hey,
I had to bomb hot sauce last night. Like,
Yeah.
I really relate to this guy today, but
but like, fuck, it's bad.
stupid.
Bad. Damn. What kind of ice cream was he eating too? It was like green. It wasn't green tea. It was like this weird, like
He had three. I think he had like vanilla. He had strawberry. He had
the
mint or
Neapolitan.
something. Yeah.
You know, it's Christmas season. You know, holiday season. They got that peppermint ice cream out now.
Okay.
That shit's fire.
I like mint.
Might make
ice
you
cream.
shit like Jiro though. Maybe he's like lactose intolerant.
We've done pretty well not buying ice cream recently. We had a
Lately.
bad run in the summer where
was hot.
we'd ate way too much ice
Yeah.
cream. So, and I kept on being like, right, I'm going to finish this ice cream so there's no more ice cream in the house. And then you come back and be like, David, there's a special at Rabba. I just got some ice cream. It's like, fuck, man, I'm trying to get healthy.
Try not to eat ice cream.
Try not to yell.
Should I get 3 gallons of ice cream?
3
tonight?
gallons of ice cream.
2 super
What do we
slices?
get? We got to get cherry.
Cherry ice cream.
I love cherry ice
My
cream.
favorite ice cream is peanut butter chocolate. Like any iteration with peanut butter
Okay,
and chocolate.
that, cherry, and then one other.
Yeah.
Just vanilla?
Sure. I don't know. Mix that all together.
Yeah.
Make it, and then we'll take massive shits and film it.
Yeah.
In our
Got some
segments.
stew left over, throw that in there as well.
Just Jiro taking shits.
Got some apples as well.
This is potty humor.
Yeah.
This is childish.
We've officially talked about this now longer than the Roderick Strong
Good
match.
It's gonna be in my brain longer than that match for the rest of my life. I'm gonna remember when people say, "Did you watch NXT WarGames?" Yeah, I watched Jiro take a shit.
Which year? 2021? Oh yeah, that's the one with
Jiro.
Cora Jade popping her shoulder out and Jiro having a shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope he washed his hands after. And these days, everyone's washing their hands, but I'm just hoping, don't go around shaking hands after.
Just go straight back to the ice cream.
That's not ice cream. Well, sorry we had to talk about poop jokes, but I didn't film
I
it.
am not.
Who produces backstage at NXT?
It feels like it's Pritchard these days. I
Is it
don't
Pritchard,
think it is.
Kevin Dunn, Road Dogg, Shawn Michaels. Shawn Michaels is kicking himself laughing like, I
Yeah.
took a shit. I do that? Damn. Well, let's go to the main event. War Games. Men's War Games match. Black and Gold versus 2.0. All the stakes on the line. Not really, but it's for respect. It is the old guard versus the new guard. We get the new guys coming in here. We get Braun Breaker. He comes in. He's ready for war. We got Carmelo Hayes. We got... who else is on this team? Grayson Waller. I always forget about Grayson Waller. I don't know who he is. He just looks like some guy. And apparently people said he was on Survivor Australia.
Yeah, I think that he did mention on his promo when he was kind of turning heel that, I just got this because I was on a reality TV show and walked in. Like, I didn't need to do hot dogs and hamburgers. Or hot dogs and handshakes.
That's what Jiro does.
Yeah. But I didn't realize it was Survivor, so that's cool, I guess.
Well, they all have like little bits of face paint. Like Melo's got like an M for his, and they all got face paint. But Tony D'Angelo is also on this team, and Tony's face paint is the Italian flag on his face. It's the only thing he did in this match. He
didn't do much. Yeah, it definitely stood out in this.
Also, Trick Williams is with them, like ringside. But earlier in the night, Andre Chase on the pre-show tried to offer his services, but they told him to fuck off. So because they got Trick. So Andre doesn't come out, thankfully, but
he should have.
He should have. Yeah, Trick is there though, so that's fine. Well, this team 2.0 is going up against Team Black and Gold. Tommaso Ciampa, the NXT champ. Johnny Gargano, DIY. Pete Dunne and LA Knight going up against Team 2.0. And it starts with Johnny Gargano. Well, we got to talk about a certain entrance.
Oh, yeah.
Because we called it. This Rebel part. Be yourself, can't be no one else. We all popped when we heard this. We knew it was coming.
Yeah, the old, Titantron, the videos of the bomb with his, emoji face thing.
Yeah.
Classic Johnny.
This Rebel heart.
This was awesome, saving it for him having the last entrance. The crowd were the loudest they were all night, I think, for this.
Yeah.
And this felt like, as we kind of mentioned at the top, he didn't do the classic post-match goodbye, at least not on screen. But this entrance felt like that, at least to NXT and this Cruiserweight, not Cruiserweight Classic, this CWC.
Yeah, whatever they call it.
Capital Wrestling Center.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Johnny Gargano getting a huge ovation here from this crowd. This music, this banger, it works with his character and everything.
Yeah.
It's weird though. It's like, did they buy it for one night or did they buy it because he's gonna be on SmackDown?
It feels like as well. Just this is the Johnny you're getting tonight. This is classic 2018 Johnny Gargano.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Well, I mean, we got to talk about his gear.
Oh yeah,
because of course everyone's gonna be like, oh, what's this nerd dressing up as tonight? Well, he had some sweet gear. Johnny is always on point. They posted the gear on now, I think main event gear or something like that, but it's all different parts from different Johnny gear.
All his takeover gears by the looks of it.
Yeah, parts of the Iron Man, the Wolverine, all of it, and then on the back using all the mixed colors. It's almost like 2.0 colors.
Very colorful.
Because it's all the colors. It says Johnny Takeover.
Yeah.
So
loved it.
Crazy looking gear.
He's someone that always puts a lot of work into his gear. He tweeted out or on his Instagram or something a day or two ago saying, been wanting to do this for a while and I've had a great idea and it looks awesome. And yeah, this was taking every single piece of gear into one. This was great.
Very impressive to do that, all the different colors and then making everything look. And if you know the history, it's got a skyline of different things and stuff. But Johnny Takeover
and Candice socks, as you said,
and the Candice socks. That's right. So yeah, very, very, very cool looking stuff for Johnny to start this match with Carmelo Hayes, the North American champion. We wanted to see this one-on-one, and we're getting it here to start off the match. Rebel Heart, Johnny Gargano, the whole shebang, and Carmelo Hayes going up at it. They're having a great back and forth right away. They're going counter for counter, move for move. They're running the ropes. They're jumping around. There's eventually a slingshot spear. They're fighting through the rings. They're fighting in one ring, and then they go to the other ring and they're fighting. And then they're running through the ropes on the other, and finally Johnny catches them with the slingshot spear, but looked awesome.
Yeah, it's like the classic classic wrestling drop-down leapfrog stuff,
Right.
but going from ring to ring as
Yeah.
well, and just at an extra pace. Johnny's always so good at these sequences, and Carmelo was keeping right up. This was really entertaining. To start
Yeah,
things
this
off.
is sweet. Carmelo at one point like almost scales the cage, climbing it, and then Johnny jumps off the top and hits this like flipping, jumping sunset flip powerbomb. It reminded me of Edge or Eddie Guerrero. Looked really cool here, just crushing Melo as.
Johnny would do these cool like kicks off the cage as well
Yeah.
to get himself in position.
Yeah, little things that this guy does, especially in not being in this match. You know, he had so many ideas of what he wanted to do in a match like this. We get our next entrant, Grayson Waller, who comes in. He eats a Rana from Johnny early on here as Johnny's trying to take him out as Melo starts to recoup from that sunset flip bomb. And then they start to beat down on Johnny Gargano getting the heel heat that we kind of wanted earlier. Like we thought that was backwards in the women's match. It's always the bad guys who
It works so much better like this.
Numbers game here. So Johnny's getting the boots from both of these newcomers, and this is when Pete Dunne comes in. He comes down, and you know he sees that there's lots of fingers in this ring, so he attacks all of them. There's break your fingers. Pete and Gargano are going balls to the wall here.
Doing it like through the cage as well to Waller, like just putting his fingers and attacking it.
And then it's him putting a crossface on while Gargano's got the Gargano escape on the other guy, and they're kicking the other guy while they're doing it.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
This looked great.
It's crazy.
Yeah, this was really cool. And this kind of started things off, which we'd see get more and more later in the match. It really felt like the veterans here we're gonna rough you up a bit.
Yeah.
It felt like old school wrestling mentality where you were in with the rookies. All right, rookie, this is your main event. You got your main event. Prepare to like eat a few things. It's because they were rough. Like especially when Ciampa comes in later.
Yeah.
They beat these guys up.
Well, it's funny you say that because Johnny's the first one to at least bleed in this match because I don't know if it was so much because the vets are going to show the new guys how to work and take some rough shots and stuff because that's the way it goes. But it works the other way around where maybe these guys are green and might potato the other guys. Like Grayson Waller, who does a leg kick to Johnny. And then it cuts to Johnny, who's just bleeding all over the place.
Yeah.
It's like, fuck. Johnny bleeding a lot in this match, which is always adds some intensifies everything, you know. Pete Dunne and Johnny are beating up these two guys when finally there is a cool spot from Carmelo who does like this like satellite face buster on Pete Dunne, and then Waller does like a roll through into the ring and stunners Pete, then rolls through the ring again and hits a stunner on Gargano. It looked cool.
Looked really cool.
It's kind of silly that both guys would be waiting, but it still looked pretty cool. Wrestling.
Yeah, anytime they're using the two rings are good. And I've quite enjoyed Grayson Waller in the matches I've seen so far. He has a bit of a different style and is quite flashy, and I thought worked in this to kind of get himself across. This was probably the coolest stuff he did.
Yeah. We get Tony D'Angelo. He's going to enter the match now, and he's bringing kendo sticks. He's got a table.
All right, this was so weird because he comes out of his shark cage in the crowd on the perch, walks down,
Hey, yo.
says hello to Trick on the outside,
Hey, yo.
opens the door, walks in, the door closes, and then he turns around and is like, oh shit, Trick, I forgot all my weapons. Can you pass them in? Why didn't he just, like we've seen, like in all the other people that ran out, they're like, oh, I'm going to grab this trash can and go in the ring. Why did he bother entering the ring? He entered the ring, had the door closed, and it's like, now let's awkwardly try and pass kendo sticks through the holes of the fence. Let's see if we can outdo Andrade how hard it is to put a table in the ring.
Table in the ring. Yeah, Trick and him were struggling a little bit.
They were like watching this for, like the camera was focusing on D'Angelo and Trick just struggling with these weapons for way too long.
Yeah.
Before you see this table going in and the leg's already down, so it's getting caught.
And then it cuts
so
again.
they just cut to the other ring.
They're like, fuck this. We're going to Johnny's down. Just cut to him quickly. It's fine. This is when Trick is helping him, but Trick, someone's under the ring and grabs him, and it reveals it's Dexter Lumis. He scares Trick Williams, runs away, and he looks at Johnny, and Johnny looks at him. and they put the thumbs up from Dexter, saving the day.
One last
here.
time.
Yeah, maybe. Well, the match continues. Tony D'Angelo does a bunch of stuff, just walking around. He's dressed like Bray Wyatt.
Yeah, he really looked like Bray Wyatt here.
Italian Bray Wyatt.
Yeah. It's like the baggy black pants with the white vest.
Shirt.
Yeah.
White wife beater.
Yeah, I said this on NXT last week. It feels like you've got 7 real people who are going for a fight and this cartoon character.
Hey, yo, gabagool.
I think in hindsight, like, Joe Gacy even would have worked better in this role.
Worked better?
Worked better. At least have been more exciting. All this dude did was walk around, stomp on someone, punch someone, stomp on someone again, sit down for a bit.
He didn't do much.
He didn't do much at all.
He didn't do much. So, LA Knight's the next to come in, but Tony D'Angelo does come up with an idea, which doesn't really make sense.
This was dumb as well.
Tony D'Angelo takes a padlock and chain and locks the cage and is like, haha, they won't be able to get in. Well, you still have another guy on your team.
So, yeah, this only really makes sense if...
all of them are in.
Once Breaker is in, you lock it so Ciampa can't get in, and it's 4-on-3.
Yeah.
This made 0 sense, and made even less sense when it came up later.
Okay, so he locks them all in, and he's like, haha, you can't get in. So LA Knight's next to come out, so he can't open the door. So he scales the cage, he climbs it.
There's no roof, guys.
There's no roof, so he climbs it. LA Knight has a great hot spot here where he's beating up all guys. He's on fire. He's doing clotheslines to both of them. He's beating power slams on one guy onto the other guy. It looked really impressive.
He reminds me of, and I think it's because he's one of the bigger guys in NXT. He's definitely not like
not anymore.
Gargano, Carmelo. No, in size,
right.
He's pretty big.
Okay.
I think he reminds me of kind of The Rock with his hot tags, like a bit more of an old school vibe, but has a lot of speed and
he's athletic.
A lot more size than the others. LA Knight has become a real favorite of mine recently. I think his promos are great, and he's actually working as a babyface really nicely because this hot tag, if you will, was really nice.
Yeah, he was doing a lot of cool stuff. This is when the good guys gain some advantage again. Pete Dunne grabs some kendo sticks. He starts beating everybody with these kendo sticks. Pete's putting a kendo stick in Carmelo's ear. I think he saw Io Shirai was doing chiropractor stuff in the match earlier, so he's like, let me see how Melo's ear is doing. And
Pete's just sadistic, and I love it. Like all his submissions are just like, I'm gonna poke you, I'm gonna hurt you,
just trying to get
really
that
hurt
kendo stick. I don't think a kendo
it's
stick's
almost
gonna
like
fit
school
in that.
bullying, isn't it? Like how because he's just pushing it in his head.
It was mean, but it was funny. We then get the last entrant from Team 2.0, Braun Breaker. He comes down to the ring, but he notices the door is still locked. So he's trying to open it. We see these referees got bolt cutters, and they're trying to open it, and he goes, give it to me. I'll do it. So Braun takes the bolt cutters, the chain cutters, and he starts going at the chain with the padlock, but he can't open it. He can't do it. So he's standing around for quite a while like, fuck, he's getting antsy. You almost see him like want to give it back to the ref to like, do it for me. He eventually, does it not cut away?
It cuts away,
it cuts
and then
away.
it's open.
Oh, and it's open. Oh, let me in there. And he goes inside. This was so stupid.
We've already explained why this spot didn't make sense, and then you fumble this big spot where it's meant to make Bron look really strong. But sorry, like bolt cutters, their job is to break things like this. So I'm not, even if you did cut this open, it's not. We've seen people rip the cage door off where it's like, fuck it. That's more impressive. Sure, it's cartoony, but it works.
Yeah.
It just made him look stupid. And you've just seen LA Knight, who's like, I can't open the door. Cool, I'm going to climb over and beat everyone up and look cool as fuck.
Yeah.
He's like, I ain't climbing. It was
really
a
weird.
shame.
It was almost like you wanted this for your babyface spot to be where the guy comes in, finally busts it open and gets in there. But it was so, especially you cut away and then you cut back. Oh, he got it. He's back.
Yeah.
He's in. It's like, really? Come on. Yeah, I mean, his name is Braun Breaker, not Chain Breaker. So he couldn't necessarily get in there. But damn, breaking them chains. Braun finally gets in. He's beaten everybody up. There's still one more person to be in the match now, so it's not the match beyond quite yet. He throws Johnny onto one guy, onto Pete. He's just wrecking everybody here with his moves. And then finally, Ciampa comes in. Ciampa with his white pants, his black and gold.
Yeah, the brand new white. No, it was like multicolored. It
He
was
had
like
multicolored.
NXT 2.0.
It was. He had black and gold face paint, is what he had, which looked cool for war. Champ is in now. He's beating people up. There was a ton of weapons that were thrown in the ring earlier, including a crutch, which Johnny hands to him in a moment. They're like, oh, yeah. And then they start using it on other people. They start beating up everyone. DIY is doing a lot of their old school tag team moves, like the double drop kick enziguri thing in the corner, knee strikes, all that. They go to do like a poetry in motion type move on Braun, but he uranagis Johnny onto Ciampa to counter it. And then he's belly to bellying these guys, just craziness. They're setting up a table here, but the spot gets broken up as LA Knight, it's Grayson Waller on top of like the top rope. He gets overhead belly to bellied off the top rope through a table from LA Knight.
Yeah, it's the kind of Kurt Angle spot, scaling the ropes like a cat and just throwing him off. Looked awesome.
In like the last second, Waller rotated. It was like he almost didn't hit.
Table was far, yeah.
He hit it though. It looked great. This spot was awesome. There's then a huge Tower of Doom spot, of course. LA Knight hit the, what's this move called?
This was Tony D'Angelo, who's been just walk around, stomp, pick up a kendo stick, put it down. These guys are setting up for the Tower of Doom, and he's the one that walks over to slam it.
Fuck. Oh, his friends are up in there. Mello was at the very
Mello
top.
took the brunt of it all, yeah.
Oh, yeah. What's great LA Knight's finisher? Because you called it the BLT, and I was like, what's it called? Now I don't know.
Yeah, the BMC, BLT, the CBD, I don't know.
He hits it on Mello, who sells it like crazy.
Spikes him, yeah.
It looks awesome. There's a lot more trash cans now. There must have been a sale on trash cans tonight. I think so. Because first WarGames match, let's use trash cans. Second WarGames match, let's use trash cans.
More trash cans.
Didn't they see The Wrestler, the movie? When he goes over?
No one worked the shoulder, to be fair.
You didn't work the leg? You're going to work the leg, brother? Oh, okay. You're going to use trash cans tonight? Yeah, a lot of them. Oh, okay. We will too. What? No. What a weak weapon for wrestling. A trash can?
Yeah.
I think it's soft. Sorry.
I always think it's a bit goofy, especially when they're putting it on people's heads, because it's like you're protecting them. You're just whacking the metal.
It's soft.
The kendo stick to the body hurts way more than the tin can on your head.
Ciampa does set one up and then does a air raid crash on Braun off the like second or third rope onto the trash can. So like it does cut him up a little bit, but still.
This one actually looked painful, because it was, it cut him up.
D'Angelo rises from the dead out of nowhere, out of the depths, and hits his sleep with the fisherman's buster. That's what we call it, but he doesn't have a name for it. Three-handed family credenza. What is it? the spinning fisherman neck breaker for a near fall. Then he grabs a crowbar. He grabs an actual crowbar somewhere, and he starts going after Pete Dunne, who hits him with kendo sticks to fight him off, but it's no match for a crowbar. They're climbing the top rope, and Tony grabs Pete Dunne's mouth, grabs the mouth guard that Pete Dunne uses, and goes to put it in his pocket, but his pockets were hanging out. So he just puts it in his pants, and then takes the crowbar, puts it in Pete's...
Yeah, that was gross.
Yeah, it was really gross. It was wet.
Guys, always put your pockets in. Like, don't leave your pockets hanging out.
Yeah, the only people who leave their pockets hanging out is for someone else to hold on to it.
Prison, isn't it? Yeah.
So he puts the crowbar in Pete Dunne's mouth, and then off the top rope does a swinging neck breaker crowbar.
Using the crowbar like around the neck.
Yeah.
Looked pretty cool.
Pete Dunne must have been sweating. It did look cool.
Yeah.
It looked like it killed him. He was out for the match here. But yeah, the one thing Tony D'Angelo did in this entire match did look cool.
Yeah.
But I definitely was expecting a lot more from him. So we get that taking Pete Dunne out. We then get him taken out. There's a final beat and Willow's bell simultaneously from DIY. They hit it right on the money. And then they go for the meet you in the middle on Carmelo. But on the last 2.9, it was on Braun. Carmelo pulls the ref. This shot was great.
The tight camera angle where the ref just disappears.
Yeah.
was really good.
And Melo is like,
this would have been the perfect finish, right?
Melo's laughing and smiling like, I ruined it. I ruined your moment, Johnny. I ruined it. So they're pissed off. He low blows Johnny, but Johnny kind of like is selling it, but holds on to Melo.
I thought they were, because they were doing all these callbacks with like the crutch and the DIY spots. I thought he was faking it and then was going to pull out the cup, because he seems to then just no-sell it as he holds on to Melo. I thought the cup would have been a nice...
He low blows him and Johnny
spot.
like holds him, and then Ciampa runs at Melo and knees him in the back of the head, but he falls on to Johnny. So they're like, they roll away, leaving Ciampa alone with Braun, who's now back up, and Ciampa goes for the fairy tale ending on Carmelo, actually, and in midair gets speared by Braun through a table set up in the corner. Ciampa is just in ruins. He gets picked up by Braun. The military press, drop down into the power slam. 1, 2, 3. Team NXT 2.0 get the win. Damn.
Yeah, I think this was to be expected and the right move. It's clear we're going to another Ciampa Bron match, so it makes sense Bron getting that win over Ciampa. I enjoyed the match, not to the level of previous WarGames, but I thought there was some good stuff. I kind of made my point about D'Angelo, but I thought the other three on 2.0 looked good. And I thought LA Knight really impressed, and I loved all the DIY stuff. So a fun match.
Yeah, it was fun. It wasn't as good as some of the other ones, but I didn't necessarily hate this either. I liked it better than the women's one earlier tonight, but the
finish was cool. The fairy tale ending into the spear in the table, I thought was timed really well.
Yeah, everyone hit some cool spots. I kind of feel like this is what I was expecting. Like, I'm going to get some cool stuff from the guys I know that it can do cool stuff, but your Tony D'Angelo's, I was expecting maybe they'll impress me. Cool, a crowbar neck breaker was nice, but other than that, you were walking around.
He's not at that position yet, and
he was walking around.
At least Cora Jade, who might not be too experienced to be in this kind of match right now, they did something creative with how are you keeping her out the match? Well, let's sell an injury. You want to jump off the top? Cool, let's do it. Like, Cora Jade was way more memorable and managed to hide maybe what her weaknesses are way more than D'Angelo, who has hit it by just walking around and stomping. Yeah.
I didn't hate this match in any means. There was some silly stuff. The Braun and the train. That's the other Braun.
Chain.
That's the other Braun. This is the Braun with the chain, and I thought that was really silly. Like, why even set that up? It didn't make sense.
Yeah.
Like, no. Really silly. But I did like seeing some of the DIY stuff, the reunion here with the double teams and the meet you in the middle. And
speaking of which, Johnny Gargano 9 minutes ago tweeted, "Hell of a run, thank you all, heart emoji, hashtag Johnny Takeover."
Damn.
With the picture of the Johnny Takeover on his gear.
Right.
Seeing all the symbols there.
Well,
cool.
Johnny Gargano, shout out DIY. The crowd was super hot here. After the match, it's just 2.0 posing.
Yeah.
As NXT WarGames went off the air. But yeah, overall, it was kind of a show I was expecting. Like, I knew nothing was really going to blow me away. And I kind of said earlier, I think this could have just been a TV special, but I didn't think it was a bad show.
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it tonight. The two singles matches were definitely the low point for me. They didn't really do a whole lot, but I really enjoyed the tag match, and I thought that was, like, technically by far the best match on the show. I really enjoyed that and felt that was takeover worthy. And the two war games I had fun with. Disappointing. It does kind of feel like, it really feels like the end of an era now, especially with Johnny takeover NXT for life. Johnny Gargano is no longer NXT. But I enjoyed the evening, and definitely there is promise with some of these new people. Carmelo Hayes, I think, continues to impress me. Grayson Waller is so unlikable. And that's a good... I think now having him as a heel is working for me, because he's really unlikable, but does show some cool stuff in the ring. Toxic Attraction still not really hitting completely. But I would still say this is by no means NXT black and gold takeover standard, but from kind of some of the shit we've seen from 2.0, the last 2 episodes of TV and this, it's at least a show where I can get some enjoyment out of it and some good wrestling out of it, which I wasn't getting in those first month or so of this.
Yeah. This definitely felt like, aside your Johnny Gargano or your Kyle O'Reilly's leaving, it definitely felt like this is the end of this Black and Gold brand. And it's Braun Breaker pinning Ciampa, which obviously I think means he's getting that title rematch that he's been talking about, and New Year's Evil's happening in a few weeks, so clearly that's the time to put the title on him. I think this was they took the nail in the coffin and they nailed it, but when Braun wins the title is when you can officially say NXT is dead and 2.0 is alive.
Being said, of the crop of people there, and if you're looking to, if your aim is to develop people for the main roster who are big and under 30, I think Bron has a great look. He has a great, obviously kind of family background. He can talk, and he has been impressing me in the ring. So I don't think he's the wrong person to go with for this project. And I think I saw someone say he had Steiner even written on his boots tonight.
Oh.
So yeah, I think I do see Bron getting that title, but I'm not massively against it.
Sure. Yeah. It's kind of like this bittersweet. It's like, obviously we knew the 2.0. It just felt backwards, because usually the good guys are the new crop, the new up and comers that you want to cheer for. But we all hate this 2.0 shit. Well,
that's what. Yeah, everyone, we were saying before recording, if this was main roster and it was like Randy Orton, Triple H, Brock Lesnar,
and LA Knight,
and LA Knight, and like John Cena taking on your like Ricochet. Say you move up a Johnny Gargano. All these like younger guys, of course we'd be rooting for the younger guys, absolutely. Right. Yeah. And then you go, why are you just having these old dudes like kill them? Whereas in NXT we're like, oh come on oldies.
Yeah, it was a little backwards. 2.0 living, they're standing strong. And the Black and Gold NXT is dead. It's dead, I tell you. Yeah, it didn't hit like a takeover at all. It felt like I was watching NXT 2.0. I liked 2.0 this week and last week on NXT, so it felt like that, just maybe a little bit elevated.
Oh, it was better. It's better than the TV. For me, like
it still feels like that. Like, don't get me wrong, I still hate the show. I still hate 2.0. I'd much rather go back to the days of our takeovers, but it didn't necessarily didn't even piss me off. The only thing that pissed me off is seeing Jiro in the bathroom again. So.
Yeah. I mean, there's unfortunately these commercials have to be there, but it's definitely taken my enjoyment out of the last 2 shows.
I can't stand it.
I didn't notice it as strongly in previous Peacock era pay-per-views, but the last 2 it's just felt really bogged down, and it does ruin the enjoyment of the show because you do feel like you're watching TV rather than a pay-per-view where it's go.
We would be out by now.
Yeah,
it's like, yo, what the fuck? Why are you wasting so many people's time? Let's go to some feedback to see what you guys thought of some War Games. I'm going to read from the Facebook group, which you should all join. upNXT group on Facebook. We'll let you in. Todd Estabrook writes in, glad to see they upgraded Cora Jade's skateboard. Women's match was a bit sloppy, but Gigi was someone I noticed more than I had before, and Cora's big spot was solid and sold really well. Eichner is a beast. Gacy just had that creepy charisma that I want to watch to see what the fuck he's going to do. Love the main event.
We go to Jordan, who says, I have not watched the weekly show since the switch to 2.0, so I came into this show not knowing much about the new additions to NXT. Thought the women's WarGames match was fun and loved the Dr. EO spot. Cool Kyle put on a good match with Imperium, but the big Cass wannabe didn't do anything for me. Grimes and Roddy's opponents did not show me anything interesting in the ring. The men's WarGame match was the best thing on the show. Brick Breaker is the most interesting thing going, in my opinion, coming out of this show. But nothing that happened tonight will bring me back on Tuesday. See you guys at New Year's Eve.
Yeah, I can see that. I see Richard Waterhouse has written, I missed the show. Did Black and Gold win and reverse the effects of the snap? And is Tyler Rust back? I also see Dylan writes in. I'll read this one too. It's a long one. Shout out to Peacock Ads for shielding me from the only shitty part of the show, pun intended. That aside, what a fucking show that was. It wasn't a takeover, but it absolutely was a takeover. Okay. Women's War Games was fun as hell, and Cora Jade sold the hell out of her shoulder until EO stopped the doctors. I was thinking she was legit hurt. Her picking up the win, fighting through the injury, was a solid story for the match. Even the finish itself felt a bit mistimed. Even if, he says. Imperium and the Out There Boys was a solid match with a clever finish that made Kyle look strong in defeat. I was super confused as to why Kyle would dodge the beatdown from Wagner until the match was set up. Kyle O'Reilly gets his send-off, and NXT will get a new monster heel in Von Wagner. Grimes and Hudson was some solid fun, with a heel getting his comeuppance. Not exactly one for the ages, but zero complaints. Roddy Gacy was fun and gritty. Kind of hoped Gacy would win to see where we go with the belt, but Roddy really couldn't afford the loss right now. I wonder who he will face next. The men's WarGames match was perfection, if you ask me. From a moment Rebel Heart started playing right up until the close of the show, I was smiling like a kid in a candy store. Big spots, storytelling, hot crowd. This match had it all and some. Whether Johnny stays or goes, he'll likely be off TV for some next months, with a kid due in the early months of 2022. So don't pour one out. Instead, pop the champagne for Johnny Wrestling. And he ends, if Braun Breaker had won the NXT title at Havoc, I would have been furious. If he wins at New Year's Evil, I'll be thrilled. He completely won me over. Kid is the future. NXT is dead. Long live 2.0.
We go to Frank, who says, Rebel Heart, easy thumbs up. Loved the tag match. Women's WarGames was messy but fun, and the main event was hellacious. Was a hellacious invitation for 2.0 and felt like a true passing of the torch. Bron is taking that title at New Year's Evil, you have to believe. Pour one out for Beth. See you and the Shaman on Tuesday.
The Shaman. And we have one here from MJ from NJ on the post forum. This was definitely better than Survivor Series. The men's match was oddly entertaining. See what the 2-point newbies would do and attempt to do, and how they'd handle such a match. I thought it met the standard of NXT on the network circa 2013-2016. That's a good thing. On the women's side, Cora was standout. She has spunk. Mandy also carries herself like a star and starting to help her proteges. The match was fine, very green. Miss Candice leadership. EO felt out of place. Maybe NXT USA got a bit too far over its ski tips. Compared to AEW, it was forced into this unnatural position of being a major brand squeezed into a studio production. Tonight reminded me of those OG network shows, and this felt like a high-end development brand show. I don't know I warrants weekly with all non-wrestling segments, but if they can get back to decent storytelling and feud building, I think 2.0 can serve a purpose and put on a good network special. Predictions on the future: Kyle O'Reilly goes to All Elite ASAP. Johnny takes time off and they have a baby wrestling, and I think he's going to wait a bit to see what unfolds in wrestling while being on very good terms, and I don't expect to see him anywhere for a while. I think that would serve him best.
On good terms with WWE.
Yeah.
So he thinks lets his contract run out, kind of chill for a bit, have a baby, then maybe like, what you got for me?
What do you got? You want me to be whose manager?
Yeah.
And I see Jake wrote in, but it says post deleted by author.
Oh no.
So he wrote something and went, no, I can't read this.
We can't read that. Well, we can read Magan's feedback. Final piece of feedback here. A strong show that was somewhat of a coming out party for the new crop of talent. The women's WarGames match put Cora Jade front and center, and she's become a babyface worth getting behind. EO playing doctor to pop Cora's shoulder back into place mid-match was amusing. The title match was surprisingly dope. Wagner held up his end well, and O'Reilly, Bartel, and Eichner, who came to work tonight. The men's WarGame match was a love letter to the Rebel Heart as Johnny Takeover put on a hell of a swan song. I had serious feels when I heard that favourite song. Whatever happens with Carl and Johnny next, I thank them profusely for everything.
Yeah, us too. We love our Johnny wrestling here and our Kyle O'Reilly. Guys, that was WarGames. We kind of all seen. We thought it was the best thing 2.0 has definitely done, I think, since this rebrand. So good for them. They're on a bit of an up, and I think some promo towards New Year's Evil will be good too. The lineup should be good.
It's good. I like them announcing the special right away. Having something to build to really helps, and not necessarily having network specials all the time, but just having a big Tuesday to build to definitely helps the show for the better.
Yeah. Well, we'll be back on Tuesday to talk all about it. On this very free feed, we do upNXT every Tuesday night. We record it live on Twitch and then upload it. We do the same thing on Wednesday nights for BD Elite. We talk about AEW Dynamite. Maybe we'll be talking about Kyle O'Reilly at Winter is Coming. Possibly. Maybe. Could be. We'll do all that as well. If you want to hear more from us, guys, $5 a month, North American tier, patreon.com/upnext. You get all the retro NXT reviews. We're in the middle of 2013 right now. Just recorded a show last week. We got movie reviews. We're doing The Warriors come out to play. That just came out this past weekend. We got Best Match Ever shows where we go back and look at all sorts of stuff, like we just had Way On for Best Match Ever SmackDown 6 or stuff like that. We do retro pay-per-view reviews. This week, we're feeling festive, so we're doing In Your House 5 Seasons Beatings.
And nothing screams holiday season like a hog pen match. An Arkansas hog pen match. So, yeah, looking forward to talking all about that one. A show I've not seen before.
And go check us out, because it's only $5, and you get access to all the shows that are coming out this month, but everything in the back catalog. So all the past shows that we promoted for the Patreon are on there. That's almost 400 shows. And this month, we got our Jack Frost week. We got our Lost Boys Up Yours pick with our boy Jamie, I think. And then we got more Was Next, but we also are reviewing Home Alone, the original, with John Pollock from Post Wrestling.
Yes, we are really excited for that one, feeling super festive. And 2 more episodes left of the sesh. Apparently tonight, had to miss Succession tonight for WarGames.
Damn.
But I'll be talking all about it on Friday with Brandon Thurston.
Nice.
From WrestleNomics, and new addition to the Post Wrestling family.
All right.
So 2 more, super excited about that. That'll be on the Patreon for all patrons.
We don't have friends. We have family.
Yes.
Nah, you can be our friends too. Friends are our family. Guys, we appreciate you listening to us. Check us out on the socials at upNXT Podcast. I myself, Braden Herrington, you can find me at the Brady.
And you can find me at Davie Portman.
Take care. Goodbye. Be safe. And this rebel heart. Ahoy!